Okay, hi, this is Teacher Paul. Welcome to the Victory Team. I hope you are healthy and God is blessing you and you are giving thanks. Today we're beginning a two-part sermon story on fasting. I'll put a link in the description. We cover the technical parts of biblical fasting. But today I had been requested by a certain church to come and preach on the spiritual aspect, the power of fasting. So we want to share with everyone. Here we go. Again, welcome to the Victory Team. If you have a Bible, you want to go to Esther chapter 4. You can pause. It takes a minute. It's almost in the middle of your Bible as far as pages go. Esther is a Jewish lady, and she understands there's a plot to destroy all the Jews, including her, by this man. So she does something that we need to do when we really need to get a hold of God. She declares a fast. Esther chapter 4, verse 16. Go, gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me. Neither eat nor drink 3 days, day or night. This is an absolute fast. There's no drinking, there's no food, there's nothing. I also and my maidens will fast likewise. And so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. She goes, I'm pulling out all stops. I'm going to select a fast because we really have to do something. Some of you are thinking, fasting? Like not eating? Yeah, not eating any carbohydrates. When I fast, I drink liquids, water. I don't drink any juices, nothing with sugar in it. I can have a black coffee or a green tea. Again, no carbohydrates, no sugar, nothing that would feed your body. Your body has to learn to say no, and it has to start drawing on the reserves. But this is not a new thing. Fasting is as old as the Bible. Great people, in fact, some of the greatest people in the Bible that we think are stars and good examples for us, they fasted. For example, Moses. Moses fasted. He fasted for 40 days and twice. Moses fasted. Jesus fasted. Jesus began his ministry, his public ministry. Before he did anything else, the Spirit led him to fast in the wilderness. Again, a 40-day fast. How many of you would begin your public ministry by fasting? And may I say, while I'm at it, this isn't in the notes, but if you're going to do an extended fast, like over 3 days or something like that, you might want to consider that these people were in the wilderness. They weren't driving automobiles. They weren't driving heavy equipment. They weren't driving buses and doing things, heavy things that could hurt people, because sometimes you're feeling a little foggy, a little brain foggy. And even the electrolytes will help, but you feel a little foggy. They were in the desert. They were all alone. They can be hangry, but you deal with God. You're afflicting your soul when you fast. Elijah fasted. Daniel, we know about, he's fasting. He's all through his life, it's recorded he's fasted. In fact, his type of fast is very popular now. He still ate, but he ate selected things. This is more a selective diet. No sugars, just plain vegetables. Paul fasted. In fact, he was often fasting. Esther, we read here, Esther fasted. David fasted. Ezra fasted. Anna fasted. Even this, the people of Nineveh, these are wicked people. They were so mean, they hated Israel. God sends a prophet, Jonah. You know the story of Jonah. He didn't really want to go, but he eventually went. And he goes in, he just preached a short little message and gets out of town. And these people believed what God was saying. They have no godliness in them at all, yet they fasted. They recognized we have to get a hold of God. We have to show God that we are serious. And maybe, perhaps, and he did, by the way, he'll turn his wrath from us. So this is not a new thing to fast. It's perfectly biblical. There are, I should say, variations today in fasting. Today, for health reasons, people are fasting, doing different kinds of fast. One is, I mentioned, the Daniel fast. No sugar. And just to select things, you'll lose weight, and it's good for you. Yeah, you drop off those sugars, just have vegetables. It's good. You can do that. You'll still be hungry, but it's not an absolute fast. The intermittent fasting, IF. I see it all the time now, and it works. It works for people like me who is type 2 diabetic. You only eat in a certain window, maybe a 4 or 6 hour window, even 8 hour window. But for the rest of the time, you don't eat anything. No snacks. No, you can have water, something that doesn't trigger insulin, something that has carbohydrates in it. So you go about 16 hours, 18 hours, maybe 20 hours of fasting. Then you can eat. Then you can eat again and close your window and start it all over again. It's difficult. But it's doable. It's a possibility. People do that mostly for health reasons. So spiritually, it's different. I prefer the 100-hour fast. It's 4 days and 4 hours exactly, and you'll count every minute when you get about halfway through. I like the 100-hour fast, not only for health, but for spiritual reasons. But if you're not someone who fasts, very few of us fast seriously. For you, a fast is to skip one meal. Well, you do fast. It's good. But there's a lot of variations. But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about your health, although fasting is good for your health. I approached my medical doctor, this is on the side, and I told him that I'm going to undertake an extended fast. And did he want to monitor my blood and such? And he couldn't believe the time frame I was looking at. I think I told him 5 days. He never, in his whole practice, never had anybody that fasted on purpose. When we're not allowed to eat, but we want to eat, it's starvation. But when we choose not to eat, that's fasting. You fasten your mouth, fasten your lips closed, and you fast. I said, well, here's some things you might want to consider. I'm telling my doctor this. I could lose weight. Is that dangerous? My blood sugar could go down. Is that dangerous? My blood sugar's kind of high. My insulin could go down. That's why my blood sugar is high. My insulin is high. My triglycerides are high. They will go down. And I'll generally feel better. I'll clean up all the little moles and skin moles and little things on your body. They disappear. They get eaten up. You get clean. And you feel better. Your body will rest. Your digestive tract can reset. So, Doc, what's the worry? He says, I don't know. Go ahead, And I did. He went there. If you have a Bible, again, let's go to Ezra. Ezra, speaking of the days of captivity when Israel was a captive. Under Ezra, the king of Persia, which would be Iran today, allows some Jews to go back. And in chapter 8 of Ezra, verse 21, now Ezra has a bunch of stuff to rebuild the temple. And he's got some men, but they're not fighting people. They have no armed guard. And the king graciously said, should I provide? I think this is a long journey. There's some bad people there. Highway robbery. You're going to get mugged along the way. Even worse. Why don't I give you? And no, our God will provide the way. And then when they start out, they go, oh, you know what? This is going to be dangerous. But he would be embarrassed to go back to the king and say, you know, maybe our God can provide a way. So what he did was he gathered everybody that was traveling together, and they decided to fast. And here it is in chapter 8, verse 21 in chapter 8 of Ezra. Then I proclaimed a fast there at the river of Hava, that we might afflict ourselves. That's what fasting does. You are afflicting yourself. Fasting is not fun. Fasting is your flesh being told no. You're denying yourself, not only daily, but hourly and by the minute. That we might afflict ourselves before our God, to seek of him a right way for us and for our little ones, and for all our substance. For I was ashamed to require of the king a band of soldiers and horsemen to help us. I didn't want to go back to the king and ask for help. So we went to God seriously in prayer and fasting. We'll stop right now with that. That's sort of a good start. Tune in next week. We're going to get into the actual spiritual fasting, okay? God bless you. If you enjoyed it, if this is good, if it helps you, please like and subscribe. And we want to be a blessing to you. God bless.